at 6 on 9 on your side. Guilty on 5 counts. That's the verdict in the Michele Schuster trial.
We first told you about the verdict at 5 o'clock. Schuster was accused of killing a utility worker and injuring 4 others in a crash in Westchester. 9 on your side's Jay Warren has been covering this for us. Jay?
Yeah, there were 9 counts here that Michele Schuster was charged with. She was found guilty of 5. Essentially, the jury found her guilty on all of the more serious charges. So, for example, there were 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. The jury found her guilty of the more serious count. There were charges of vehicular assault. She was found not guilty on those and instead found guilty of aggravated vehicular assault. So when given a choice, the jury found her guilty of the more serious charge. Now, there are moments in the court here, the judge was reading the verdict of the most serious charge. That was count 1, aggravated vehicular homicide. Let's listen to that right now.
Verdict form number 1, count 1, charge of aggravated vehicular homicide in case of State of Ohio versus Michele Schuster. We, the jury, being duly impaneled, find the defendant, Michele R. Schuster, guilty of aggravated vehicular homicide in violation of section 2903.06A1 of the Ohio Revised Code as charged in the indictment.
Now, this whole thing happened April 22nd of last year. Michele Schuster was charged with essentially taking Xanax. The jury found that she had Xanax in her system, that the prosecution demonstrated she had Xanax in her system. She was found to have Xanax in her purse. She alleged that she was drugged by an individual that she had met while working as a stripper in Dayton. They had this relationship that he described as a sugar daddy type relationship, and that essentially she went up to Westchester from Cincinnati and that he drugged her, and the last thing she remembered was waking up in the hospital. It appears, though, that the jury didn't buy any of that and that her credibility was a suspect in this. Once again, the jury finding Michele Schuster guilty of the most serious charges, aggravated vehicular homicide, as well as aggravated vehicular assault, and they also found her guilty of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Sentencing is scheduled for May the 19th at 1:30 in the afternoon, back in the courtroom of Judge Keith Spaeth. She faces up to 23 years in prison. Jay Warren, 9 on your side, Hamilton.